Hogan's Relentless strength training here, and what I'm doing today is I'm going to go over the basic dynamic warm-up that all of my athletes go through. And what this does is it moves the athlete's bodies, all the joints through various ranges of motion, warms up the musculature so that it's ready to go, fires up the nervous system, and basically just gets your mind right, practices a lot of athletic skills, and gets everything going. Okay, so this is going to seem like a lot of stuff at first, and it always does when athletes start, but once you get the hang of it, you'll come in, you'll knock this out in like 5 minutes. Won't be a big deal. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is a 4-point squat. And I'm just going to go a couple reps of all these. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. So, what I want you to do is I want you to stand in your squat stance, your feet a little wider than shoulder width, point your toes out just a little bit, and it's 4 points. The first thing you're going to do is with straight legs, you're going to reach down like you're touching the floor, or you already touched the floor. Then you're going to sit like a frog. Then I want you to open your hands up and bring them up like the Y from YMCA, and then stand. So I'm going to reach, I'm going to sit, and if your heels come off the ground, don't go any lower than that. And now I'm going to open and stand. So reach, sit, open, stand. Okay, that was the 4-point squat. Next thing I'm going to do is a lunge and pull. Now basically this is a walking lunge, but when the back leg comes up, I want you to grab a hold of it, pull your knee into your chest, get a little stretch, and then come back into the next lunge. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out into a lunge. Obviously I have a lot of room right here. Step out into a lunge, chest is up, back leg comes up, pull, and then I go right into my next lunge. Kind of stuck in the corner here. What we're going to do is we're going to do that, 10 of those each leg. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is a reverse lunge. Now the reverse lunge, you're not going to move, it's going to be stationary. And I want about 95% of your weight to be on your front heel. The back leg is going to step back into a lunge. Again, we want that chest out, we're getting a good stretch of the hips. So it's just going to be to the lunge. What I don't want is I don't want you going back real heavy, like stepping back into the lunge. That back leg should almost float back. Okay, next lower body mobility exercise is going to be a sit over, okay? So the sit over, I want you to think stretch, not exercise. So legs are nice and wide, and most of my clients do better at this than I do because they don't have the beaten up hips from powerlifting that I have. But you're going to reach down to the floor, bend this leg, keep your heels on the ground, and then you're going to slide your hips back and forth. And the idea is not to come up in the middle like they're going to want to. The idea is to kind of slide your hips right along the ground. So I'm going to reach, and now I'm just going to go nice and slow. I'm going to bring my leg over. And you're going to try to get a little bit lower every time. Okay? Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're just going to mobilize the wrists, the elbows, and the shoulders. So just roll the wrists around. Roll the elbows, just back and forth. We're going to do 10 or 15 seconds each joint, each way. Obviously in this video I'm not going to make you watch me do that for 10 or 15 seconds. And then the shoulders, mobilize up. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is a push-up walkout to a T. So, I want you guys to stand comfortably, and the goal is to have your legs totally straight. If you need to bend them a little bit for flexibility at this point, that's fine, but the goal is to keep your legs straight. I'm going to reach down, I'm going to walk out, I'm going to walk out, I'm going to do a push-up. When I come up from the push-up, I'm going to come up to the T position and I'm going to hold that for a count of 1. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to walk my way back up to stand. So I'm going to reach, I'm going to walk, push up to a T, and then I'm going to stand. What we're going to do is we're going to do 5 of those on each side. So that's going to be 10 total walkouts. Excuse me. Now, next thing we're going to do is a basic plank. You guys have probably done this. Almost everybody's done it at some point. The idea is to keep your midsection nice and tight. Head is up. Don't lift your hips too high. And don't sag in the middle. We're going to hold that for 30 seconds. Nice and tight, just like that. next one is a glute bridge. And I do my bridges a little bit differently than probably you've seen in the past, but we're really trying to activate the hamstrings and the glutes here. So, I'm going to stack my feet, hopefully you can see this, and at about 45-degree angle. I want my knees to be apart. I'm going to lay down, I don't care what you do with your hands. And now I'm going to push my heels into the ground, and I'm going to lift my hips. And I'm not going to let my knees knock in, and they're going to want to. So, up, hold that for a count of about 2, down. Okay. After the bridge, now we get into our active stuff a little bit. We're going to do lateral hops. So find a line on the floor. All my lines are going the other way. But the goal of the lateral hop is not long movement, it's fast movement. So you're on the balls of your feet, your heels stay off the ground. You're going to jump back and forth over the line, minimize ground contact time. Over and back is 1, and we'll do 20. So it looks like, okay. Seal jump is the next exercise. This is like a jumping jack, except your arm's going to open up like a circus seals. We want 20 reps. Same idea, minimize ground contact time, nice and fast, and really open the chest up. Okay. Last one we're going to do is a squat jump. And that's exactly what it sounds like. I want a nice good squat, good jump, but I want you to land quietly. And if you can't land quietly, don't jump as high. So, just going to squat, land nice and smooth. We're going to do 10 reps there. Alright, that's the basic warm-up, and I'll see you guys in the gym.